Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing tonight? Summer Game Fest just happened. Summer Game Fest 2024. Jeff Keighley just showed us games for between 2 and 4 hours, depending on if you watched the Day of the Dev showcase after Summer Game Fest, and depending on if you watched the Devolver Direct after Day of the Devs, which I did do. I did do both of those things. And my initial plan was to put together like this top 10 list of like all my favorite things that that were revealed and shown at the presentation. And I had trouble getting to 7. I I had a good enough time. There was some fun stuff at the presentation. But ultimately there wasn't enough there to base a whole stream around, like I'd be done in like an hour if I were to just like do my favorite Summer Game Fest stuff. So I'm not really sure what to do tonight. What do I do tonight? Um um there were a few things at Summer Game Fest that made me like really happy, right? Um and really I feel like that's probably like a top 3. Like there's 3 things I found really cool and interesting at Summer Game Fest today. 3 was just UFO 50 coming back, UFO 50 resurfacing, getting a release date, us getting to see footage of how so many games that are in the package and what the seeing like some final polish on a lot of that package. Yeah, that made me really happy to see how very close to done UFO 50 is. Uh it's coming out September 18th. September 18th. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. I'm pumped. Uh I'm not like I said I'm not putting together I'm not changing my schedule up. I'm not updating the schedule until we get that Nintendo Direct. But yeah, guaranteed. I will guarantee you that UFO 50, when it comes out September 18th, will get played the following Friday. What day is the 18th? The 18th is a Wednesday, yeah. So September 20th, I'm going to play UFO 50. And then I might play more UFO 50 on the 21st. And then I might make Saturdays UFO 50 days. If I'm enjoying if I end up loving the game as much as I've been looking forward to it, I might, you know, there might be a lot of UFO 50 streams in the near future. Um and um Second place probably goes to damn, what was that game called? Wanderstop. Um Wanderstop being that new game from the Stanley Parable guy that that where the trailer for 90% of the trailer it looks like it's like kind of this cozy 3D like Stardew Valley ripoff. And then of course at the end of the trailer it's revealed that there's more to it. There's more to this game. And yeah, very cool trailer, very intriguing premise. I'm yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm into it. Um and then I guess number 1 number 1 is just the Street Fighter 6 Year 2 trailer. Uh cuz fucking so like I give me a sec here. Give me a sec. On. Let's turn that off. That's not. I don't have a top 10 for you. Um, but I came in here because I think if I click this, yeah, cool, cool. I can just pull up the trailer. Um, but yeah, like, yeah, fucking Street Fighter has never done a crossover in the history of the franchise. You know, Street Fighter 2, 3, 4, 5 never did any like playable crossover characters. They've never ever done that. So I just kind of assumed that, you know, Street Fighter 6 would also do that, especially because they started doing crossover costumes, right? They did the Yor from Spy Family costume. And it's like, okay, cool. The way that Capcom is going to do crossovers in Street Fighter is costumes, and that's the way it's going to be forever. And yeah, then just fucking then this trailer is just like, yeah, Terry and Mai. I'll tell you what happened. Um, when uh when this was shown at Summer Game Fest, the presenter she uh was like, "Hi, I'm about to show you a trailer for from and a fighting game entry that I've been playing since I was a kid, and like an entry in a fighting game series that I've loved since I was a kid, and I can't wait for you to see this trailer." Um, and then like the trailer, like it shows Luke and Jamie, and like you know the shot of like that shot of like the dumpster outside. It's like, oh, this feels like, is this Mark of the Wolves? Is this City of the Wolves? And then you see stuff fucking Terry, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Capcom versus SNK 3. They're doing Capcom versus SNK 3. I didn't think they'd announced it until they were done with Fatal Fury. Yeah, holy shit! It's this Capcom versus SNK 3. Terry and Mai versus Jamie and Luke. Oh, cool. Elena's in Capcom versus SNK 3. How neat. How cool. But wait a second, that's a new design for Elena. Would they just like that looks like Elena if she were in Street Fighter 6. Wait, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? And then that pops up. It's like, oh my god, this was year 2 of Street Fighter 6 all along. This is year 2 of Street Fighter 6, and it's just got 2 crossover characters in it. Not one, but 2 crossover characters. You guys have like 60 characters from your own franchise. You have 60 canon characters that we're all waiting for you guys to age up and and see like in this point in the Street Fighter timeline, and you're going to give us another year of Street Fighter characters, and half a year of that is going to be non-canon like guest characters. It's like it's unexpected to say the least. Terry Chad stay winning. Terry fans are eating good. Terry fans are eating good, man, for sure. Uh, and RIP to Kyo though. He hasn't been in any of these crossovers. It's always gonna be Terry. If you're gonna crossover with SNK, it's always gonna be Carrie. It's always gonna be Terry, and then it's gonna be Mai, right? And maybe it'll be Hilmaru. Uh maybe it'll be the Samurai Showdown guy if it makes more sense for your game to have a dude with a sword in it. Um so yeah, crazy fucking trailer, crazy fucking reveal. Terry, Mai, Elena, like an older Elena. Like Elena's the first character that was a teenager last time we saw her. So now we're gonna see Elena as an adult. And and seeing how old Elena is potentially gonna help us pinpoint exactly where in the timeline Street Fighter 6 takes place, right? Because so far the entire Street Fighter 6 cast is adults. Is people that were adults in Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter 4. And now they're just older adults. Now they're all just older adults. Elena though, at the latest point in the timeline, like in Street Fighter 3, she's like 16 or 17 years old. Um so like if they give us any kind of gauge when she comes out, if they let us know if there's an indicator that she's in her late 20s, or her early 20s, early 30s, we'll be able to figure out like how many years later this game takes place. It is kind of funny though, like she was an older teenager, like so like her as a young adult won't really tell us that much after all. Sneaky. It's tricky. But anyway, yeah, that's exciting. That's pretty cool. So M Bison summer 2024. We're getting a trailer for him tomorrow. Um uh like we're actually getting a gameplay trailer for Bison tomorrow. So my guess because we're in the middle of a battle pass on Street Fighter 6, like the anniversary battle pass, my guess is that like early July an M Bison battle pass is going to start, and we'll get M Bison as a character released like right after Evo basically. And then it said what, Terry and Fall? Yeah, that's a great new Elena design. I really like the Elena design. It's kind of funny that they gave her pants. I'm not complaining that they gave her pants, but I'm mildly surprised. Usually, usually they don't show that kind of restraint. So yeah, Tarion Fall. Did that say? Did that say? That say spring 2025? Oh, winter 2025. So let's actually, yeah. So we're gonna fuck. I didn't. I thought the order of operations was going to be M Bison, Terry, Elena, Mai. Right. I was going left to right, but the order is actually going to be M Bison, Terry, Mai, Elena. Like we're just getting a little Fatal Fury double feature in the middle of the well, in the middle of the season. And I bet it's funny um they haven't outright said that these characters are going to get world tour featurettes. They haven't outright said that. I don't know if they've ever explicitly said every single character we ever release will get world tour uh will be in world tour. Um like I have to like like they must be able to train you in world tour, right? Like if they just stop updating that feature, that would be disappointing, but I wouldn't put it past Capcom. But my guess is that Terry and Mai will both be in like uh a new world tour location that represents wherever Fatal Fury takes place. But I could also see them both just like hanging out in Metro City, right? Like Terry will be in Metro City during the day and Mai will be in Metro City during the night. And Bison will probably be in like that abandoned lab. And then Elena might be somewhere in Nashal. But it'd be cool actually if we just got like a new Kenya map for Elena. God, I wonder if Elena's gonna come out like right before Combo Breaker next year. Which would bum me out a little because I think if any of these characters have the potential to like replace Manon as my main, it's gonna be Elena. But I am excited to see Terry and Mai get like Street Fighterized. Also, I do think that Capcom versus SNK 3 is in development. Maybe like early development, maybe it's in like pre-production right now, but I definitely think that Capcom and SNK have signed a piece of paper that said let's make Capcom versus SNK happen. Like Capcom versus SNK 3. Like my guess is that um my guess is that um City of the Wolves will come out 2025. We'll get a year or two of DLC for that. And then Capcom vs. SNK 3 will be the next game developed by SNK. And it'll come out like 2027, 2028. That's my guess. That's my guess. Um But yeah, that's Capcom versus SNK3 before Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, I would bet money that we'll get Capcom versus SNK3 before we get Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Yes, hands down, easy. That's the easiest bet I've made in my life. Um, I guess now that I've got it set up, maybe I'll show off um some other stuff I'm looking forward to that was featured during Summer Game Fest or like its attached presentations. Um yeah, for starters, UFO 50. Yeah. UFO 50, a game I've been gushing about for years. You've probably already heard me talk about it at this point, which is a compilation of 50 like games, like full games. Some of them are like shorter and more arcadey, but they are all full games with like credits, you know. Um 50 games that were made by a fictional game developer that was like ahead of its time in the 80s, in the like in from the 80s to like the early 90s. Um yeah. God, I'm pumped. Yeah, UFO Soft is the fake company that presumably made these games. Um and their whole strategy is like, yeah, we gave ourselves like a color palette limitation, we gave ourselves like a sound card limitation. Um but what we did not limit ourselves in terms of game design. So there's a lot of modern game design ideas in the games that we've made. So basically, UFO Soft was ahead of its time in the 80s and 90s. Um, and yeah, this is finally coming out September 18th. I've been looking forward to this. Apparently, the game was announced 7 years ago. And I've been looking forward to it this whole time, every year, hoping that this is the year that UFO 50 comes out. And this is the year that UFO 50 comes out. I'm playing this, man. The Friday after it comes out, I'm playing this on stream. Yeah. And they have mentioned that they've done a lot of cool stuff in terms of like the out of game menus and stuff. And they only showed very little of this, even in this kind of informational trailer. So yeah, I'm excited. Looking forward to the Action 52 stream in anticipation. uh I don't know. I don't know about I don't know if I could torture myself that much. But yeah, also my guess, and they've kind of hinted at this, my guess is that UFO 50 will have more than 50 games in it, you know? Like there'll be a minimum of two, I'm guessing, like unlockable games. Uh so it can have at least as many games as the cartridge that inspired it. Because clearly this was inspired, this whole concept was inspired by Action 52. Um yeah, I'm not gonna watch that trailer too often because I wanna I want that experience to be like pretty fresh, pretty blind. I'm trying not to. find out too much more about UFO 50 at this point, because I'm excited to I'm excited for most of that to be like a fresh, like new experience. Um, let's see what other cool stuff. My fiance's home. Other cool stuff. Oh, one thing I really liked that got announced was let's see if there's a trailer for this online already. Yeah, there is. Cool. Um, Another thing that got announced was this initiative called initiative from Innersloth, the creators of Among Us. Um, and yeah, they launched a new initiative called Outer Sloth. Very funny, very cool. Where they are funding and publishing like several mini games. This one's my Battlesuit Aces is that's my favorite. That's the one I'm looking forward to most, which seems to be like a really cool looking roguelite deck builder from the Battle Chef Brigade guys. One Button Bosses seems pretty cool too. Really intrigued by that one. Um, yeah, like Rogue Eclipse looks pretty good. Man, Among Us made so much money that they were able to fund like 6 whole ass games. Uh, Not including like, any that they're still hiding from us at this moment. Oh yeah, and the guy that made Thirsty Suitors is also working on like that new game. It's kind of pretty early in development right now. So yeah, Outer Sloth. I think that's really cool. I think it's really cool that's the thing. And I'm looking forward to several of the games revealed during that trailer. Um Oop, don't look. Um and then there's Tenjutsu from the designer of Dead Cells. Um Now this is a cool trailer. I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing I don't like about it. But ultimately, I am very excited for this game. This is from Johann Sebastian, who designed Dead Cells, then left the company and started making this game instead, Tenjutsu. Now, God, like, so what I don't like is that like the sprite style is actually like gorgeous. I love the sprites, super fluid. Um, like, uh, really dynamic. Managed to be like kind of low detail, but also you can kind of tell everything that's going on really clearly, which I think is impressive. But you have this gorgeous hand animated trailer with just this gorgeous aesthetic about a full minute before you see the sprites. And I've been noticing this trend in games lately, in like especially like indie game trailers, where like you know, they'll commission animators to make like the first minute of their trailer animated, and the animation's gorgeous. Um, and then they show game footage afterwards, and the aesthetic is completely different. I'm getting kind of sick of that kind of trailer. You know, I'm getting kind of worn out by these trailers that set our expectation for how the game might look, and then the game looks nothing like that. Right? Like I get that the intent is probably like it's like no, this is the vibe. This is the vibe of the game, right? Like this gorgeous animation is how it will feel when you play as these dinky little sprites. And I'm excited to play as the dinky little sprites actually. Like I like the combat looks great, especially for a sprite based game. I love the roguelite mechanics you've been teasing, and especially Johann Sebastian. You know, designed was the game designer for Dead Cells before he left, and obviously that's a very like well made and popular game. But the way I know Johann Sebastian is that he has uh for years he's been making games for Ludum Dare, which is a game jam competition that I showcase here on the stream every now and then. And he has won Ludum Dare multiple times. He uh he is a Ludum Dare winner like several times because his games are like so cool and well designed and so fun. So like that has me excited for Tenjutsu. I think Tenjutsu is going to be pretty cool. This was shown at the Devolver Digital presentation, and I bet it's going to be badass. But what I feel like they should have done was show the sprites first and then maybe show us some of the animation. Maybe that like ruins the point. Like maybe that defeats the point. But I feel like maybe they should have done that anyway. I guess I'll show another. I guess I'll show another trailer that I enjoyed during the Devolver presentation. Um, it's for this game called Angerfoot. Like it's a first-person shooter, which usually I have trouble getting into. Right, your first-person shooter has to be very special for me to like opt in. Right. It's funny. I just beat Portal earlier this week, but yeah, it's tough for me to get into first-person shooters. Um, and then uh, and then this game where you can equip different shoes, and each shoe has like a different special ability. Like, and you can kick people with the shoes and also like use the shoes in special ways. That looks delightful. That looks really wild and crazy. And I'm intrigued by it. Comes out next month. It comes out in July. Yeah, maybe that'd be worth a peek. Maybe that'd be worth a look. And yeah, I guess the last thing, right, which I said was my number two on my top three, was Wanderstop, and I've kind of been stalling on showing this one because I I wanted Devin to be able to see it because I feel like this would be up Devin's alley, but I'm out of things to talk about. Um, because again, this summer game fest was kind of boring. The game's called Wanderstop, and it's from the Stanley Parable guy. Um, from the Stanley Parable guy, and like it's got like, it's got like this cozy anime aesthetic, right? Like it's like, oh, this is like 3D Stardew Valley. How how quaint, how cute. Wow, actually, like, is the Stanley Parable guy really doing uh like a straightforward like Stardew Valley riff, you know? It's like the character designs are cute, and it does like genuinely have like this cozy vibe. Um and yeah, like there's effort put into the graphical style more so than with Stanley Parable. Like, yeah, like all the shots of like the world that's been built. I guess that's cool. I guess it's cool that the Stanley Parable guy is doing that with no like weird twist. And um oh um oh oh this warrior character has trauma. She has trauma from all the wars she's fought, and she's trapped in this cozy life sim. Well, I'm in. I'm in. Yeah, okay, good. Devin was watching this over my shoulder, and he just gave a thumbs up. Uh like, yeah. What how interesting. How interesting. I can't wait to find out more about that game. Or really, not really, I can't wait to find out more about that game. I can't wait to find out nothing about that game and then like play it in like, I don't know, what, like 3 years? I feel like it's probably going to be a little while before that game comes out. There wasn't a release date, right? It's just like, here, this is Wanderstop. Enjoy it at some point. Ooh, take a first bite of my dinner tonight. Leftover tikka masala that Devin made last night. It's really good. It's really good. But yeah, you've seen all the things from Summer Game Fest that I thought were cool now, basically. Like, yeah, like Street Fighter 6 Year 2, Wander Stop, like UFO 50, Outer Sloth, Tenjutsu, Angerfoot. That's kind of it. That's kind of it. There were some other there's some other like indie games that like looked neat and interesting, but like I didn't write. There's a lot of them I didn't write down, and ultimately like probably wouldn't have. Yeah, weren't like didn't wow me so much that I'd put them on like a top 10 list. Um, but I guess that's it. And part of the reason that's it is that it turns out that Jeff Keighley decided to not have a lot of like new game reveals this time. Um, he we found out a couple days ago actually that Jeff Keighley is charging video game companies like hundreds of thousands of dollars to run their trailers during Summer Game Fest. And it's funny because I assumed kind of the opposite was happening, right? I thought Jeff Keighley was going to these game companies and paying them uh, for the privilege of showcasing their games. But I guess Summer Game Fest has so many eyeballs on it that he's making the game companies pay him for like, you know, I think it's like I think like a minute. I think a 1 minute trailer is like $150,000 or something. And then uh the the fee increases by $100,000 for every 30 seconds longer than it is. So like a 2.5 minute video or a 3 minute video is like $550,000. So like after finding that out, I noticed during the Summer Game Fest that a lot of the trailers were very short. There were a lot of game trailers that ended very abruptly. Like there was a trailer for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves that revealed two new characters. Uh, it revealed two new characters, and the trailer was a minute long. They showed about like 10 seconds of footage of each new character. I bet I can find I bet if I look for one, I can find a longer version of that trailer. This and the Game Awards get the same viewership as the Super Bowl, so you're not surprised it's pricey. Yeah, I found out kind of recently that the Game Awards gets more views than the fucking Oscars. Like by like a factor of 5 or something. It gets like 5 times more viewers. Not a factor of 5. That'd be like well, anyway, yeah, it gets like it gets significantly more viewers than the Oscars, which always felt like a big deal to me, even though I haven't seen an Oscars in maybe 10 years, but I have seen several Game Awards in that period of time. Yeah, hold on, I wonder if there's an extended version of the trailer of the Fatal Fury City of the Wolves trailer. Oh, haha. Yeah. Um yeah, not okay, so they have the 1 minute announcement trailer. They have the 1 minute announcement trailer. Also, weird actor there. Is that guy supposed to be Rock? Is that guy supposed to be like if Rock Howard was a nerd? Yeah, right. And it's like, oh, cool. BJA. Oh, Vox Reaper. Oh, cool. Less than 10 seconds per character. Like, right? That's the whole trailer. It's exactly a minute long. They definitely had a cut of that trailer that was like twice as long. And then they were like, wait, this, like, a trailer that's half as long as this will cost us $150,000 to run? Jesus Christ. But yeah, it turns out that not only I went to SNK's channel, and not only do they have this video up, but they have full trailers, like full 1 minute and 46 second long trailers for the new characters. Like each character has about a minute and a half of footage of their gameplay. So actually, why don't we do like the trailer reaction thing? I'm just gonna hope really hard that like my account doesn't get flagged. Um, like I hope I don't get flagged on Twitch for this. I don't get flagged on YouTube for this. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna watch these trailers live because I don't really know what I'm doing with the rest of my stream time yet. Anyway. All right, so let's check out Bijane first. How's the audio? Is that too loud? It's a little loud for me. Turn this down a bit then. Yeah, how's that? How is that? Oh! Oh wow, she's great. She somehow feels more fluid than she does in King of Fighters. Oh my god. Oh my god. Man. I'm intimidated. I don't think I'll be able to do combos this long when I get the... Oh! I love the cell shading on these characters, man. It's really nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, she looks great. She looks great. Now let me pull up the brand new guy. Oh, yeah, who was voicing? Amber Lee Connors is voicing Bijane. I know she's done stuff. Amber Lee Connors. What do I know her from? What do I know her from? She's Furina from Genshin Impact. She's also voiced dub characters from a lot of animes that I've only watched in Japanese. Oh! She's the dub voice of Miss Joke in My Hero Academia. So I have heard her before. She voices a character in the Netflix dub of Blue Period. That's cool. Oh, she's Sally in Tangle Tower? Wow. That might be a deep cut that no one besides me is really going to get. She voices a Unipop character. My condolences, Amber. Oh wow, she's the dub voice of Marjorie in Rhapsody 2 and 3. Oh, so that's kind of a bummer actually, that they couldn't get the original voice actress for Marjorie. Oh, she voices Hilda in Unicorn Overlord. And I don't know if I met Hilda in Unicorn Overlord. She's also the Rye Cookie in Cookie Run Kingdom. Oh, she's Ino in Guilty Gear Strive. So yeah, I've definitely heard her a few times here and there. But anyway, let's take a little peek at Vox Reaper, shall we? Love that funky little bass riff, baby. Funky as fuck. Hell yeah. Ooh. Eric Ransom. Mm. Mm. Hmm. Huh. I wonder. Okay, so he's awesome. He's very cool. I wonder what character. I wonder what Fatal Fury character he's connected to, right? Because Priya, the other new character, is like she's Joe Higashi's protege, right? So like, who trained him? What existing Fatal Fury character trained Vox Reaper? Vox Reaper. I wonder if ooh, enter the demon Vox Reaper. This street assassin is dispatched to hunt down and eliminate Kane R. Hainline, he's the boss character in Garo. Yeah, yeah, fucking um. And although the attempt is thwarted, he emerges from the encounter hardly worse for wear. Kane's bodyguard Grant, having realized the youth's talent and potential, decides to take him under his wing thereafter. Afforded a new lease on life and intent on fulfilling his dying master's wishes, not to mention Kane's own grandiose ambitions, Vox stalks the bloody battleground that is Southtown, a demon reborn. So he is Grant's protege. I don't remember who the hell Grant is. Oh yeah, Grant. He's like the sub boss of Garo Mark of the Wolves. Um yeah, if you don't meet if you do badly in arcade mode, he's the final boss instead of Kane. Um hold on, I might have to if I do this. No. Well, that's his chest. He's Grant. He's Grant from Garo Mark of the Wolves. Um yeah, those characters look cool. And I bet they wanted to show the full character trailers on Summer Game Fest. And Jeff Keighley's probably like, okay, that'll be $550,000. And they're like, never mind. Have this 1 minute trailer where we don't show shit. We'll show exactly enough to get people to look us up online. And maybe if they look us up online, they'll find the extended character trailers. So funny, dude. But yeah, like, first off, there are a lot of kind of underwhelming trailers like that, right? And then second off, um, there weren't any like That's smart business on SNK's end. I agree. I think presented with that situation, I think they made the best decision they could. I mean, hell, I found the trailers. Um, but yeah, in addition to a lot of underwhelming short trailers, I also wouldn't pay 500K if I didn't have to. Yeah, same. I wouldn't spend $500 if I didn't have to. If Jeff was like, "This will be want run a trailer for your stream on Summer Game Fest, that'll be $600." I'd be like, I I've been fine without much growth all this time. I'll manage. I guess $600 to make the entire Summer Game Fest audience aware of me. Um I guess there's some value to that price, but he wouldn't charge me $600. The implication is that he wouldn't charge me anything south of 100,000. But anyway, yeah. So in addition to a lot of short, underwhelming trailers, there just weren't many like big reveals this time. Um, it turns out that Jeff said that like the focus would be on updates to games we already know about, and he wasn't lying. That sure was what this presentation was. Um, like we got we got like a job system trailer for Metaphor ReFantagio, which looks gorgeous. That game looks so good. I'm so pumped to play that game in October. Um, um, yeah, the last game shown was a game that has already been announced, and I forget what it was. But on top of that, like the games we got updates on weren't even like a lot of them weren't like big exciting games. Like even with that description, right? Even with Jeff Keighley being like, this is mostly going to be games you already know about. It's like, well, there's a lot of games out there that we know so little about, right? And I bet like there's so many games that have been announced that we've seen a cinematic trailer for and no gameplay at all. So you can show us like the first gameplay. You can do the gameplay reveal for a lot of these games, right? That that Wonder Woman game that WB's working on, that fucking Iron Man game that EA's working on, uh Insomniac's Wolverine game, Um Pragmata from Capcom, right? There's so much stuff where they can be like, hey, you know about this game already, but check out this thing that'll be really fresh and really new to you. And they didn't really take an opportunity to do that. The craziest thing to me is that, like I mentioned, that Square Enix wasn't on the partner list for Summer Game Fest, right? But I honestly thought that that's because Jeff wanted to keep Square Enix's involvement a surprise. I thought that we'd get a Kingdom Hearts 4 Star Wars trailer at the end of the show, and that'd be the big blockbuster reveal. But Square Enix wasn't there. He didn't. Jeff wasn't lying. Square Enix just wasn't there at all. Uh, like not even to like give us a release date for Visions of Mana, which I do think will be at the Xbox showcase on Sunday. I think I think we'll get a Visions of Mana update at the Xbox showcase this Sunday. But yeah, like, you know, yeah, more Phantom Blade Zero footage and Power Rangers beat 'em up is cool. But yeah, Summer Game Fest was kind of whatever. The Power Rangers beat 'em up did look cool. That did look neat. Um, I'm actually like I set this on the Discord, but like I'm legitimately glad that like uh sprite based beat 'em up throwback games of licensed properties is apparently popular enough and doing well enough that people are still making them, you know? Like I'm legit happy to see that. Even though I haven't really played any of those games. Like, I played very little of Streets of Rage 4, right? I haven't tried out I haven't tried out that sprite-based Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game yet. Um right, and I don't know if or when I'm going to end up playing that Power Rangers game, but I'm glad they exist, you know? I'm happy for the people that are going to buy them, and I'm glad that they exist. I do want to play I do want to play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. I want to play Shredder's Revenge at some point. If only because I've heard a little bit of the T-Lope soundtrack behind that. And oh my god, the T-Lope soundtrack, man. What a fucking banger of a soundtrack. I've only heard like 2 or 3 tracks from the game and they all kick ass, man. As a beat 'em up fan, the last 5 years or so have been very good for you, lol. Some of these recent ones have been the best in the genre. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? Like these new beat 'em ups have actually like like River City Girls and stuff, like they actually like bring new ideas into the genre while like updating some game design sensibilities for like modern audiences. It's great. This is a great time to be a beat 'em up fan for sure. So, yeah, that was kind of an underwhelming presentation. I didn't have a bad time. It was an okay day. It's an okay way to spend a day. I really liked the Day of the Devs stuff that was shown actually. A lot of great picks from Day of the Devs. Yeah, UFO 50 was wonderful to see, and there's a lot of really cool games shown at Day of the Devs that I should have jotted down. There there's this one cyberpunk game about playing as a character with amnesia. And at one point one of the developers said like it's like, yeah, we we made the character non-binary and we also made them biracial. This is because I'm biracial and uh as a person I'm half black and half white, and as a person that doesn't look black enough to be accepted by a lot of the black community, and as a person that doesn't look white passing at the same time, um I decided to put a lot of that into that game and this character. I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck? I wasn't expecting to be attacked sitting in my own couch. Wasn't expecting you to just kind of casually go for my throat over like to fucking like shoot me in the metaphorical nuts with my own experience, you know? um I forget what that game was called. I wish I remember what that game was called. And there was another really sad looking game about like kind of this visual novel narrative game about like, you know, guy kind of mourning the death of a loved one. Um yeah, Day of the Devs had a really cool lineup. Really cool lineup for Day of the Devs. His Volver Direct was fun. Honestly, I feel like the selection of games for the Day of the Devs presentation and also the selection of games for the Devolver Digital was like better selected um than the Summer Game Fest stuff. Like I think those other presentations felt more consistent. They felt more consistently interesting. And Summer Game Fest was almost like every time they showed us something cool, they also had to show us a VR game that I'm never gonna play, or like a really uninteresting like war shooter, right? They had to alternate. It'd be like, oh, here's a cool thing. Here's a VR game. Here's a cool thing. Here's a war shooter. So I found myself like spacing out a lot during Summer Game Fest this year. Um although I forgot to mention it was very funny that Tim Robinson just suddenly showed up during the stream. Like there was just a fucking Tim Robinson sketch in the middle of Summer Game Fest, and it turned out to barely have anything to do with the game that it was connected to. It was for Skate. It was basically like a no gameplay trailer for the Skate remake. Um and it was a funny Tim Robinson sketch, you know? It just felt like an I think you should leave sketch. But yeah, that was interesting. You're just excited to do the same moves with Terry in like the 80th game he's appeared in, and you're only like half joking, so you're not too disappointed overall. I'm excited for Terry too, although like I'll be happy to play as all of these characters when they come out, right? In fact, I bet the Street Fighter version of Mai is going to feel amazing to play. However, I do feel like they accidentally released like the year 4 character roster, right? This is so weird to me as year 2 because we're still anticipating. There's still so many Street Fighter characters we're waiting on. There's so many there's so many characters that were like implied to be coming up soon in World Tour, right? And then yeah, and then the next 4 characters are 2 Fatal Fury characters, Elena and M Bison's back from the dead. Like why is M Bison back from the dead? He just died. He just died like a year ago. Well, why is he back? You built up this new antagonist. You built up JP as like the new big bad. And then the main bad guy, the guy that he's stolen all of his powers from, right? Like JP is basically just Diet M Bison, and he's only threatening because Bison is dead, and there is like no one as powerful as Bison exists anymore. And then this JP guy comes up with a fraction of M Bison's power, but that power is growing, and that's why that's a threat. That's why he's compelling. And then M Bison just comes back from the dead. Like, what's the point of JP now? Who gives a shit about JP now? Makoto fans are in shambles right now. I am in shambles. Thank you for asking. Honestly, like, yeah, I thought Makoto was one of like the front runners for season 2. Also, we don't even get like the pattern of Street Fighter seasons, right? The pattern of Street Fighter, like every time they did a season in Street Fighter 5, pretty much every time they'd, they'd bring back 3 older characters that haven't shown up in the game yet. And then they would also include at least one brand new character, right? At least one character that's new, that's never been playable in a Street Fighter game before. Maybe they're connected to an existing play character, but you've never played as that character in a Street Fighter game before. And I guess technically they've done that with Terry and Mai, right? Technically, Terry and Mai are brand new Street Fighter characters, but I feel robbed somehow. I feel a little robbed at the same time. Like my yeah, what was my prediction? My prediction for year 2 was some combination of 6 characters, right? Um like I thought season 2 was going to have some combination of Cody, right? Because Cody has been alluded to in World Tour mode already. Dan, because Dan's fucking Saikyo dojo is in Metro City. If like there is a building with Dan's Saikyo dojo logo on it, if you're paying attention, if you're looking around in Metro City. Um Hugo, because we haven't seen him in a while, and there's billboards of him all over Metro City. Um, Hakan's daughter, right? Like I think that I thought that maybe we'd get like one of Hakan's 8 daughters as a brand new character that would have some of Hakan's moves, but still be a new character. Um, and have a design that people are less grossed out by than Hakan. And yeah, I just like this is basically just me thinking like, yeah, well, like there'll be a new character in the season, and that new character will probably be connected to an existing character. What options does that leave? What about one of Hakan's daughters? Like, who is a like Hakan's daughters were like either little babies or like tweens in in Street Fighter 4, so like one of the tween daughters can now be a young adult in Street Fighter 6, and I still think we could get her before the game's done. Like, I think sometime in the lifetime of Street Fighter 6 we'll get one of Hakan's daughters. Also, speaking of the billboards, um there are billboards in Metro City advertising Hakan's oil, so like the game, like the Street Fighter guys are thinking about Hakan still. And yeah, who did I say? I said Cody, Dan, uh Hugo, um Cody, Dan, Hugo, Hakan's daughter. Right, Hakan's daughter, Makoto. Like I thought we'd get like, like young adult Makoto, like or late teens Makoto. Um and Fei Long, uh, who we know is like still an active movie star thanks to like DJ's story. Like DJ will tell you that he still hangs out with Fei Long and even cameoed in one of Fei Long's movies. So like yeah, I thought it'd be four of those six characters, and none of them are in year two. Yeah, Street Fighter 6 is in Metro City and Cody won't be here till 2026 at the earliest. You're distraught. Right? Like, yeah. How how did Cody not show up in the season? It felt like such an obvious Street Fighter 6 season 3, Abigail, Falk, El Fuerte and Abel. Honestly, like I feel like Street Fighter 6 will have like we could get a character that's connected to El Fuerte, but I don't think El Fuerte himself will return. Also, maybe Abigail will come back at some point, but I'm not sure about that one. Falk or another member of Ed's crew, I could see happening. And yeah, maybe I think Abel, I'm not sure how to pronounce it after all these years, but I think Abel could actually show up at some point. It's been some time since we've seen him. You'd love young adult Makoto? Me too. Me too. A lot of people would. She won a character poll when Street Fighter V was out. She was the most popular Street Fighter character in that poll. And we have not seen her since she won that poll. Where is she? Maybe that was gross just now. Sorry if you just saw too much of me eating. I thought I was slightly off camera. Um but yeah, season 2 lineups cool. I'm looking forward to Elena especially. I love Elena's new design. I'm really looking forward to her. But yeah, the rest like and yeah. In a vacuum, Terry's a guest character, great. Maya's a guest character, great. Both of them taking up a slot in the same season, weird. And yeah, and Bison being back and completely like undoing any amount of caring about JP I was trying to do. So weird. Like what a weird order to release these characters in. But will I buy the season? Yes. Immediately and without a second thought. Absolutely. Absolutely I'll buy the whole season. But yeah, man. Yeah. Usually I spend like 3 hours talking about the thing that Jeff Keighley did. And I'm out of stuff to say already. Like now what? What do I do now? There weren't even any cool shadow drops. There weren't any shadow drops at Summer Game Fest. Alan Wake 2 is getting like DLC tomorrow. But it's not like I could play that on. Even though it came out today, it's not like I could play that on stream. I haven't played Alan Wake 2 or Alan Wake 1 or Control. And there does appear to be Control stuff in the Alan Wake 2 DLC, and that is really cool. The The Alan Wake 2 DLC trailer did make me want to play Alan Wake 2. Just because like one of the playable characters in the DLC is so like I was so tickled and entertained by that character. I want to know what that character's deal is. So I want to play whatever game she's in. I want to play whatever game that character's in. Capcom going back on Street Fighter status quo immediately is to be expected in some ways. Like how they went back on every new main character to just do Ryu again. Um, I see where you're coming from, but like the fact that yeah, I think what bugs me is that like they took a gamble with Street Fighter 6, right? Like Ryu's in it, but he's not the main character. He doesn't really have anything to do with the main story, actually, right? Like he is off to the side minding his own business during the events of World Tour. Um and Luke is the character that's on the box. Ryu's not even on the box this time. It's Luke. And and you know, that's kind of a gamble. They didn't put Ryu front and center this time. You know, like the entire original 8 was playable in this one still, and you know, that was kind of a safe choice. But they still took risks, and they still made the focus on kind of a post Bison era, right? And they took that risk, and the risk paid off. They made a bunch of money on this game already. Like people loved a Street Fighter game that didn't have Bison in it already. They loved it. It was the second most entered game at Combo Breaker this year. And the first most entered game was a game that just came out. Um so like yeah, them retreating to the status quo feels unnecessary this time. It did feel like them retreating to some status quo stuff for Street Fighter 5 felt necessary because no one was buying Street Fighter 5. And them doing that from 3 to 4 felt necessary because no one was really buying 3. But yeah, they took risks with 6 and they paid off. What are they doing? Why are they going back to what's safe? And yeah, and the thing is like this season isn't even that safe because they have 2 guest characters in it. They've never done that before. Hopefully they do something with Bison and not make JP redundant. You've also never been huge on Bison, so him being here again is eh. I don't hate Bison as like the Street Fighter big bad, but I've seen enough of this guy. I've had enough of this guy. Like, yeah, I've seen plenty of Bison in my day. I would have been fine to go an entire game without seeing him, you know? And then like you could treat it like a big deal when they resurrect him in Street Fighter 7, right? But then you resurrect him exactly 1 year after your new game has come out. Like, where do you even go from there? I thought you were trying to tell a new story, bro. I thought you were trying to tell a new story without the same fucking villain. It's not like people even thought JP was lame. People liked JP. People thought JP was kind of cool. It's not like the Sonic the Hedgehog Archie comics where like Robotnik dies for a little while and then you make these new villains like Ixis Naugus and everyone thinks Ixis Naugus is stupid, so you bring Robotnik back. It's not like that. People thought JP was cool. Also, I liked Ixis Naugus, but you know, but I was 13. What did I fucking know? But anyway, okay, yeah. What now, guys? What do I do now? No, I thought my mouth was off screen. I'm sorry. Ooh, Biscuit was shown in Hunter x Hunter and then Impact. Her buff form is an install. She looks neat, and now we know 10 of the 16 characters. Well, shit, I've been doing trailer reacts already. Oh, she doesn't have a trailer out yet, huh? We just know that she's back. Oh no, we do. We do have a new trailer. Okay, and also let me know the volume on this. Let me know the volume if it drowns me out or whatever. Feels a little loud on my end, but yeah. Biscuit. This whole game is so Tatsunoko versus Capcom coded. Yeah, Biscuit was obviously a shoe-in. Biscuit was obviously gonna be in. Yeah. Ha. Yeah, cool. Cool. Yeah, she does look neat. And yeah, it felt really obvious that we were getting her. And apparently the game's coming out 2024. I'm not sure if that's worldwide or just in Japan. Do we know if America's getting this game yet? Do we know? Arc System Works is publishing it outside of Japan. That's right. I did hear that. That's great. That's great. Cool, which means we are getting it sometime this year. Yeah, fuck. I'll play that. I'll spend way too much money on that and then play it for a day, and everyone can laugh at how much money I spent on it. Sean won't get it because it's a 3v3 fighter, so I'll have to hope that like other people watching right now decide to get it. Like maybe Gooder King likes Hunter x Hunter enough to try it out. But okay, yeah. What next? What next? Not really sure what to do to kill time at this point. Maybe this is just another early stream. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow either. It's too bad I'm not an Alan Wake fan because I could have just played the Alan Wake 2 DLC tomorrow, but I haven't played any Alan Wake shit. Monday I'm playing I'm picking Trauma Team back up. You're gonna buy Net Impact because you're a huge Hunter x Hunter fan, and if it does well, maybe they'll make more anime manga games that aren't just arena like fighters. Yeah, arena brawlers. Yeah, yeah, that'd be nice. Like I do like the I do like anime fighters and more traditional fighters more than I like the arena brawlers. Some of the arena brawlers can be fun though. I really enjoyed my time with My Hero One's Justice, just because like they managed to still have a lot of moveset creativity in that game. But yeah, that's not a bad point. If yeah, maybe they see that a lot of people are buying Hunter x Hunter Net Impact even though it looks like a Wii game, then maybe we'll get more cool fighting games, based off of anime properties. God, I'm still so bummed out about that Jujutsu Kaisen game. It doesn't even have local multiplayer. That kills me, man. That kills me. All right. Um and I never even ended up playing I never even ended up playing that Demon Slayer game, which is probably for the best. It looked fun but not that fun. But yeah, it'd be nice to get. It's kind of looking like the entirety of 2024 is going to go by without us getting a new Jump crossover fighting game, which makes me sad because like it's not going to be hard to do one that's better than Jump Force. And they just haven't revealed one yet. I feel like maybe we won't get one until Jump's 60th anniversary in like 2029. At least maybe then they'll have a lot of time to make it really good. Also, yeah, no new You were literally the audience for Jump Force and you didn't even buy it. That's yeah, that's a bummer. Um, yeah, I, you know, unfortunately, like we're talking about a world where like Hunter x Hunter does well, and they make more anime games that aren't arena brawlers. I think we're about to experience kind of the opposite, right? Because like Sandland came out, and clearly nobody bought the Sandland game, and that's a game that obviously had like a budget put into it and had a lot of like a lot of effort put into it, and like it's getting like sixes and sevens out of tens, and like and there were there were people that found charms in it, there were people that enjoyed it, but a lot of people were basically going like, yeah, this isn't worth $60. And so like it feels like no one bought Sandland, and I think that's gonna make Bandai Namco go like, okay, we will make Dragon Ball games, we will make One Piece games, we will occasionally maybe still make Naruto games, and when a current when a manga comes out, when an anime comes out that gets tens of millions of viewers, we will make a game of that and see how that sells. But no more of the Sandland shit, you right? Like I feel like Bandai Namco is about to become a lot more conservative about which animes they turn into video games, and that's going to be very sad. But you need your big budget Yu Yu Hakusho game? Me too, man. Me too. I would love I would love a traditional fighting game that's Yu Yu Hakusho. Big budget Yu Yu Hakusho game would go so hard you'd spend so much money. Yeah, man. Like either like, like an anime fighter of Yu Yu Hakusho, or or a game that basically plays like or a game that basically plays like a dragon. Like specifically like Judgment. Like that Yakuza spin-off Judgment, where like half the game is you beating up hordes of guys, but the other half is like you doing detective work. Like that. That's the Yu Yu Hakusho game. It's just Judgment, but with Yusuke and his friends. God, that game would be so good. I'd be so down for that shit. Also, make a good Bleach game. The Thousand Year Blood War is airing, so it's current. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of shocked that we don't have a new Bleach game yet. That's got to be in the works. That's got to be in development. JoJo Part 4 and Yu Yu Hakusho would make for great Yakuza style games. I still need to catch up on JoJo. A few months ago, January actually. So 5 months ago, specifically in January, I started rereading JoJo in secret. By rereading, I really mean like started like I I've only ever read like the first half of JoJo Part 1, right? And then I got bored and I gave up. So in January, I secretly started over. I started reading JoJo, which meant rereading the first half of JoJo Part 1. And I got about 10 chapters farther than I did last time and then gave up, and I haven't picked it back up since. Like, yeah. And you know, I've since then I've seen people say that, especially compared to the rest of JoJo, Part 1 is a slog. So like I really just need to go back and get through the rest of Part 1 and probably kind of also slog through Part 2 so I can start enjoying myself with the other parts. Um but yeah, it's been slow going. It's been slow going to say the least. Um yeah. I say maybe I even got like 20 chapters farther than last time. I think I have like 10 chapters left of Part 1 and then I'll be done with it. But yeah, like I put it down again and I haven't looked back yet. I haven't gone back. But anyway, long story short, I believe you when you say that JoJo Part 1 would make a cool Yakuza style game. Um I wonder if I wonder if we're gonna get a Chainsaw Man game. Like I feel like it's funny. Like Chainsaw Man was huge. It feels like Chainsaw Man's really popular, but it also kind of feels like the anime didn't blow up as much as they wanted it to. So I don't know if they're even making a game out of that. Um and Undead Unluck, man, that anime gave the manga zero growth. No one bought more copies of the manga when the anime came out. And apparently the anime even had like a decent animation budget. So I'm guessing that if there was a video game of that in the works, it's probably not in the works anymore. You quite enjoy Part 1. It's like Fist of the North Star and Castlevania. Jonathan is an endearing guy and his relationship with Dio is cool. The middle is kind of a slog, but the ending is good. Yeah, that's the problem. I'm in the middle. Um, I'm in that weird part of Part 1 where Dio resurrects like two warriors from the distant past and then leaves. Like he was like, I'll have you fight these warriors from hundreds of years ago. Ta ta! Right? And then he fucking. And then he fucks off. And. And then, you know, Jonathan just spends like 10 chapters having to fight these like Roman zombies that essentially have nothing to do with the story really. Um and I read far enough that Jonathan beat one of them, but then it's like, oh good, now he's going to fight the second guy for several chapters. And I couldn't bring myself to keep reading at the time. I just wasn't interested anymore. I'm so close to the end too, and I just like, yeah. I do agree that I like Jonathan as a protagonist. I love Zappelli. I love Zappelli and I love Speedwagon. They're great. Um and like his relationship with Dio in part 1 is cool. Their dynamic does have some stuff that's cool and interesting. It's all very campy, you know, it's all very soap opera. But I think that adds to the charm of it all. How like silly and over the top everyone is, like how dramatic everyone is, you know, like how fucking extra Dio is every hour of the day. Yeah, it takes a bit for Araki to get into the swing of things. Part two is a lot better, as the Looney Tune esque antics at times are great, and Joseph is a lot of fun. Okay, that's good to know. I've got 10 chapters left in part one. Maybe I'll just try to get through it and see how I feel about part two. Because I want to use my Shonen Jump app more. I don't use it that often. Like when the new manga hits every week, I mostly read it in Manga Plus because that just feels like a smoother way to read the latest chapters. Um, and then the Shonen Jump app, which I'm actually subscribed to, I'm like paying the $3 a month or whatever. I I read Shoha Shoten when a new chapter comes out every month of that. Um, and then I keep telling myself that I'll go through older manga on the vault to justify my monthly purchase, and then okay, the mic did pick that up. Did you guys hear that? It did pick that up, yeah. We figured out that like our upstairs neighbors have dogs, and we're pretty sure their dogs are fucking running around. It's a delight. Um, but yeah, I'll have to read more stuff on the Shonen Jump app. I'm paying smarter, not harder. I don't Does that work? I don't know if that works. Yeah, because there is a lot of manga in the Shonen Jump app that I still want to read. I still want I want to check through. I want to check out Assassination Classroom. Toriyama's passing recently has made me want to read older Dragon Ball. You know, because I've never fully experienced older Dragon Ball. I've seen bits and pieces of the anime, and I've never read the manga of it. And yeah, I've been feeling nostalgic. I've been wanting to experience that story from cover to cover. Um, um, Haikyuu. Haikyuu. Devin and I watched the new Haikyuu movie. We watched Battle at the Garbage Dump. Oh, so good. Oh, it's so fucking good. Oh, I had a wonderful time watching that movie. It's great. The new Haikyuu movie is fantastic. Watched it subbed, of course. Not that maybe not of course, but I think Haikyuu in particular, I think the sub is a lot better. I think there's some choices for the Haikyuu dub that I don't really agree with. Um, Dragon Ball is one of the best battle manga ever made, in your opinion. It's worth going through. Cool, cool. Yeah, I'll have to do that. I'm gonna read through old school Yu-Gi-Oh for kind of similar reasons, kind of like Keita Takahashi passing, and but on top of that, like just I've I play so much fucking Duel Links. I should probably experience the original story from cover to cover at some point. There's a lot. There's a decent amount of stuff like in the vault. like a lot of Shonen Jump's like legacy series that I've been reading, meaning to read, and haven't gotten around to yet. Um, Astro Lost in Space, Tagami Bachi. I've been interested in those. Um, yeah, hold on, let me pull up the app here and do a quick scroll. Yeah, Assassination Classroom. I did say that. Um, ooh, D Gray Man. I want to read D Gray Man because that was D Gray Man is a playable character in Jump Ultimate Stars. And one of my goals a while back was to read every manga that has a playable character in Jump Ultimate Stars. Um, but I'm never going to do that because Rurouni Kenshin and Buso Renkin are in Jump Ultimate Stars, and and you know those are both stories by a convicted pedophile. So I'm less interested in achieving that goal now. Significantly less. We can say that I'm not achieving it. You tried recently going through Saint Seiya, got through 5 chapters, and it was kind of Might continue, we'll see. Okay, if you love Fist of the North Star, then you will also love parts of Saint Seiya as long as you can push through it. It's so Saint Seiya is so stupid, but in like that, but in a lot of the ways that Fist of the North Star is stupid. Um, like there's also some genuinely compelling stuff, some cool character arcs and motivations. Um, some of the silliest twists I've ever seen in a manga. But in that really sincere 80s battle manga way, like it's some of like the dumbest stuff, but it's taken so seriously. They're so genuine about these crazy things that are happening in Saint Seiya. Um, yeah, the things that you love about Fist of the North Star, um, the things that you love about what I've read of JoJo, I think, yeah, I think if you read more chapters of Saint Seiya, you'll love it. I think if you read more chapters of Saint Seiya, you'll love it. I haven't finished Saint Seiya yet, but I'm on the I burned out around the last arc. I got somewhere around like the last arc of Saint Seiya and I got burned out and I haven't continued. I haven't finished. But I was having a good time for a while. You do like over the top sincerity. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, like based based on what I know of you, Cactus, I think you'll like Saint Seiya if you keep going. I need to finish Saint Seiya. I was having a good time with it. Um oh, Hikaru no Go. I want to read Hikaru no Go. And Hoshin Engi. I want to read that one. Um all the JoJo stuff. All the JoJo stuff I want to read. I got to catch up on Kaiju number 8. Man, the app lost my spot in Knights of the Zodiac. I read like 100 something chapters. Well, maybe not 100. I read close to 100 chapters of Knights of the Zodiac, and it's acting like I never read I never read Saint Seiya in my life. I have though. Why don't you remember? Maybe Moriarty the Patriot. That's in the app. At some point, I gotta read My Hero Academia. Devin and I have been anime only for a while. I mean, for the entire run of the series, we've been anime only. Um, and uh, and we're also behind on the anime right now. We're still behind on the anime, but I feel like I should read. I feel like I should read it at some point. Apparently, it just wrapped up like the final battle, so it should be ending soon. But apparently, Horikoshi wants to do epilogue stuff for a little while, so I gotta read Naruto. I'm also like, I'm at the Great Ninja War in the anime. Um, and I haven't picked that back up in a while. Like Neolation, Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan. I'll check that out. Prince of Tennis, I guess. Siren. I want to check out Siren. Like Siren seems to have a pretty like dedicated fan base, you know. Like people who love Siren, people that read Siren seem to really like Siren. You stopped MHA around chapter 180, so you'd be interested in my thoughts on the later stuff if I ever get around to it. Yeah. Devin and I got burned out on the anime once Endeavor started getting a lot more screen time. It just got exhausting for us. Like can a character that's an abuser like be redeemed in a story? Yes, if you write them really well, you know? Yes, if you give that character depth from the beginning and you write their redemption really well. Endeavor, it does not hit that for me. And Endeavor's redemption is not written really well for me. Um World Trigger, I'm interested in. I kind of want to read through Yu Yu Hakusho at some point because I've watched the whole anime, but I've never read it. Yeah, decent amount of stuff on the app that I could be reading, you know. But but you know, like I do a lot of reading already, like staying up to date on the stuff I'm already currently reading. Um, and B, like there's a lot of stuff I'm reading that I'm not reading digitally, right? Like I got a bunch of fucking physical manga. Um, and usually when I'm in the mood for like, you know, investing time into reading a series that I'm behind on, I'll want to grab one of my physical books that I haven't read so that the stack of physical books that I haven't read gets smaller. You also need to start Sakamoto Days. You've heard how great it is, and the new anime adaptation has it intrigued. Yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah, man. Read Sakamoto Days. Yeah, man. The manga is so good. The manga is so good. Like the as long as the animation has like a respectable budget put into it, the anime will probably be incredible. Um, Netflix is distributing, which has me nervous, but it has the potential to be an incredible anime. I would at least read the manga. The manga is fantastic. Well, look at that. You got me yapping for like another 20 minutes. All right, cool. Well, you'll give it a go? Awesome. Yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Yeah. Like the premise is really fun, like right out the gate. And and there are just some incredible sequences like throughout that manga. Like you know, it's action packed, but it's also very funny. And it just like its fight scenes can be so creative and interesting. I love the way it uses different set pieces and the way it like elevates these mundane locations into like yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'll let you read it. I'll let you read it and just let me know what you think. Yeah, cool. Well, so I don't really find I guess what I ended up doing is talking about manga for like 40 minutes. Um but yeah, that was Summer Game Fest today. That was today. Um and not the showstopper I was kind of expecting, but still an interesting day overall. I'll be back tomorrow, I guess. I still don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, but I'll also be back Monday. And I'll be picking Trauma Team back up. I think what I'll do is I'll give it at least one stream and then decide whether I'd rather beat Trauma Team or start Devil May Cry 1. Um and go from there. But yeah, I'm going to do at least one more Trauma Team stream on Monday. And then yeah, we're just kind of waiting for the next Nintendo Direct. We're just kind of waiting for that. Once like, Microsoft is doing their presentation this Sunday, and I'm sure they'll announce some release dates for games and stuff then. I feel like they might like shadow drop Silksong or something. Um but yeah, so after Microsoft drops their news, I guess after Ubisoft drops their news, and after the Nintendo Direct happens and we know what Nintendo's doing for the rest of the year, then I will do a schedule stream where I look at all the upcoming games that we now have release dates for and like slot them into different new game Fridays. And then we'll be set. And then we'll be set. We'll have kind of a rough game plan for what I'll be doing throughout the year. We're kind of in limbo right now, and I'm sorry that like uh I'm sorry that stuff isn't really very concrete at the moment. I'm kind of floundering, I don't really know what to do for my streams this week just cuz there's not a lot like that's current or exciting. Um but that's about to change. That's going to that's going to change real quick. So, Yeah, by the end of this month, the rest of the year is gonna feel like really packed. Yeah, I'm just waiting for some information, you know. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. You know, if you think of something that would be cool for me to do tomorrow, let me know. Um, but uh, but yeah, do something tomorrow. Trauma Team Monday. And then of course there'll still be streams next Friday and next Saturday. I think there might even be some stuff releasing at that point in June that I'll be able to make streams out of, but I'm not sure. Y2K is getting a new update with a bunch of new content. If I want a stream idea, no, thank you, bro. No, thanks. I man, think like it's it is generally interesting that that guy keeps trying to like make that game better, but I think there's just like enough things that are just fundamentally wrong with the game at a base level that it's hard for me to muster up a level of comfort with playing through that game on stream. I own it too, you know. I bought the game before it really before I really saw firsthand so many things that bothered me about it. Um what's up with the Witch Hat Atelier anime? I believe that have they right now it's been like an announcement of an announcement, right? Like we're gonna get more information soon. Have we gotten the information yet? Like I think they said like within the next month there's gonna be more details of the Witch Hat anime. Like there's gonna be news soon. You're so confused. Is about it being in Russian on Crunchyroll, which explained nothing. What? Okay, hold on. Okay. Witch Hat Atelier is going to be at Anime Expo 2024. It's going to be on Crunchyroll. And that's all we really know for sure right now. It'll be on Crunchyroll. They're gonna have more details at Anime Expo 2024, which is in July. Um, yeah, that's all we got for now. Um, yeah, the Witch Hat Atelier anime, I'm really looking forward to. I hope that's good. I hope it's really good because the manga is like one of my top 5 mangas of like all time. I love Witch Hat Atelier. I love it so much, and the anime has the potential to be so good. Like if people are paying attention when Witch Hat Atelier comes out, the anime, um, that that has the potential to blow up the way that Frieren has blown up. You know, like how big Frieren has gotten, how much people love Frieren, how much people love Delicious in Dungeon. I think I think as long as the Witch Hat Atelier anime is half decent, it could it could be that big. You know. God, yeah. So pumped. It's gonna be some good animes coming out this year. Yeah, I'm excited about Sakamoto Days. The potential of a Sakamoto Days anime. I'm excited for that. I'm excited about the Witch Hat Atelier anime. Yeah, I'm pumped. Okay, cool. So yeah, I ended up streaming for a decent amount of time tonight. Good for me. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me know in the Discord if there's something you want me to. Sakuna Rice of Ruin comes out this year as well. Oh, like an anime adaptation of it. That's cool. The only ongoing you're watching right now is Kaiju number 8. How is that? How's Kaiju? How's the anime of Kaiju? What's a weird comfort anime? Exclamation point Discord. A weird comfort anime. I really like Laid Back Camp. Not as much as Sean, but like it's funny. Like Laid Back Camp came out. It got 2 seasons, right? Like yeah, as an anime. Oh, you think Will meant that Kaiju is weirdly a comfort anime? You know what? I get where you're coming from if that's what you meant. I thought you were just randomly asking me what a weird comfort anime is, and I couldn't really answer on the spot. It's kind of safe, but it has this underlying momentum and teases you with trauma, but hasn't gotten there yet. It'll get there. It'll get there. I've read enough of the manga to know that it'll get there. Um, but Hoshina's your favorite. Which one's Hoshina again? Oh right, Hoshina, the bowl cut boy with the closed eyes. Yeah. Fox eye boy with the bowl cut. Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course he's your favorite. Of course he's your favorite. You hate the opening cinematic for Kaiju number 8 visually because the style is gross to you, but you get it. I've only seen a little bit of the opening cinematic. I'll have to watch the whole thing and see what I think. Um yeah, it's funny. We is this the first time One Republic has done an anime song? That's a good question. It's funny actually, like Devin and I are pretty behind on all of our ongoing anime, like if there's any like currently running anime that we're current on, we're only current on it in the sense that we're up to date on the manga of it. Like Chainsaw Man, right? We're up to date on the Chainsaw Man manga, which has been fucked lately, by the way. It's been fucked, but we are up to date on it. Um, you know, we we're caught up in Blue Lock the anime, and in the manga we've read up till the end of season 1. I guess we got to start reading more before the second season comes out. You're behind on Mashal? Yeah, we're also behind on Mashal the anime, but I've finished the manga. I finished the Mashal manga and I've enjoyed myself. Oh, the internet is saying that it's Young Blood and not One Republic. I don't know. I don't know. One Republic is the ending. Haven't watched a ton of anime lately. I'm too busy watching Kamen Rider and getting into the tokusatsu rabbit hole. That is super fair. It's funny, yeah. Like Dev and I haven't been watching much anime lately. Like we'll either be reading manga or we'll be watching Dropout stuff, which isn't anime related at all, but that's what we've been doing with our time. You know, we'll be any given evening where we have free time, we'll just like pull up a dropout thing because it's easy, right? We'll watch an episode of Game Changer or Actually or Dimension 20. We'll just pull up something on Dropout. We've been doing that so much that we're actually caught up on a bunch of Dropout stuff now. But we got a shitload of Dimension 20 to get through still, so it's not like we're out of content. Your friend finished the Blue Lock manga and wants to rewatch the anime for a fourth time? Jesus. I mean, it's good. Blue Lock's good. Uh I just don't think I have enough time in my life to rewatch anything four times. Dropout is so mid 30s coded. Why do you come into my home and attack me? Well, what have I done to you? What have I done to you? What have I done to you, man? That's the only people you hear mention it, people in their mid 30s. Well, first of all, Devin's in his late 20s. Um, but I am I am the one that subscribed us to Dropout. But also Devin's got some buddies that are under 30 that also watch Dropout. Like I I think Dropout is just a very millennial thing, right? But it covers the spectrum of millennials. Like late millennials are watching it, but early millennials are watching it too. You know? People like yeah, people born in the late 80s, in the mid to late 80s, yeah, they're watching it. But people born in the early to mid 90s also watching it. Oh, God. So 30s coded. What would the millennial manga be? I mean, that's that's just the big three, isn't it? That's just uh that's just One Piece, Bleach, and um Naruto? I'm forgetting what the big three is now. I keep wanting to say Dragon Ball, and for some reason, people don't think Dragon Ball is one of the big three. Um, but like, the millennial manga is Dragon Ball probably, right? Like it's Dragon Ball or it's Bleach or it's Naruto. It's one of those three. One Piece, Naruto, Bleach are the big three. Okay, yeah. Um, yeah, I think the millennial manga is gonna be One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, or Dragon Ball. Although really like the millennials that are really into that are mostly watching the anime and not necessarily reading the manga. Especially in the case of Dragon Ball. And kinda also in the case of Naruto. Yeah, like if you're talking manga, you're talking the millennial manga, maybe. Would Berserk count? I feel like people around 30 and up especially love it. Berserk's not a bad answer. Berserk's not a bad answer. Because if we're talking the millennial anime, right? Like it's easier to have an answer to that, I feel. Like the anime version of Dragon Ball is definitely up there. Sailor Moon is definitely an answer to that question. Like Card Captor Sakura and Fruits Basket for certain crowds, right? Um I feel like Cowboy Bebop is like a millennial anime, right? Cowboy Bebop is for sure like one of the millennial animes. But yeah, I think if you're like doing anime and manga, if you accept both of those as the answer, then I think Dragon Ball's the answer. Cause like you're not gonna find like you're not gonna find a guy my age that didn't get into Dragon Ball at some point. Like didn't start watching it on Toonami when they were younger and thus still have like a bit of an attachment to it, right? Even if they're not particularly nerdy, right? Like I feel like there's a lot of guys out there where like they don't consider themselves nerds, but then if you bring up Dragon Ball, that is like one of the things that they'll be nerdy about in like my age group. There's there's this incredible behind the scenes footage of filming of Thor the Dark World, right? Where where like Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston are like in full costume on set, their capes like billowing in the wind, like the fans are on and their capes are flowing. Um and Chris looks over at Tom and he does like this, and then Tom looks at him and goes like this. And like, like to an outsider, it's like, oh, those guys are just being goofy little guys, but they're doing Dragon Ball poses at each other. These fucking grown men making millions of dollars on their Marvel movies. These fucking older millennials are just fucking Dragon Ball dorks. They love Dragon Ball. That movie is 10 years old. Now, what movie is 10 years old? What movie did I mention? I got caught up in my. Oh, Thor the Dark World. It's 10 years old now. Ah, fuck. Dragon Ball was so big that Jackie Chan and government officials from Salvador, France, China, etc. made statements on Toriyama. Yeah. Yeah. There was for New Year's in China, there was this just fucking like Dragon Ball like dance show. Like they did like this big like New Year's performance in like a Chinese theater at this Chinese like auditorium, like the Wrigley Field of China basically, and it was Dragon Ball themed, and everyone loved it. Yeah, and those actors are Australian and British respectively, right? And they fucking love Dragon Ball. It's weird to think that those dudes aren't that much older than me, you know? Like I think they're both older than me, but I think they both got like less than 10 years on me. Okay, Hemsworth is 40. And Hiddleston's 43. Less than 10 years. Chris is less than 5 years older than me. That's fucking crazy, man. It feels like they're both decently older than me, but not by much. You delayed the stream ending by 30 minutes and gave Daniel existential dread. Until next time! Yeah, I guess I'll stop here. But yeah, I'll see you guys Saturday. Yeah. Like if there's something that Hemsworth and Hiddleston are almost as tall as Sean. Everyone in Hollywood's tall as fuck. And then that results in like also a bunch of actresses in Hollywood needing to be tall as fuck so that they can be played opposite these tall fucking men. Um yeah, everyone's tall as fuck there. And then they're all standing next to each other and you think they're average height, but no, you're looking at a room full of giants. Um yeah. So yeah, if anyone has any ideas for what I should do tomorrow, speak now, or either forever hold your peace or forever hold your peace if you don't have Discord access, I guess. Except Tom Cruise is not that tall, yeah. Play Hades? Hmm. Play Hades. I'm a kind of weird spot in Hades where I've beaten the game, but I haven't like beaten the whole story. I wonder if me plopping just like literally into the middle of Hades. Oh, do you mean finish a game? Finish a game. That's something I could try to do. Or like make more progress in something. There's a bunch of 2024 games that I've started uh and played like exactly 5 hours of, you know? And like that's it, right? Uh Another Code Recollection. Did one stream of that and haven't played it since. Princess Peach Showtime, right? Did one stream of that, haven't played it since. Unicorn Overlord. Ayuden Chronicle. Um uh I haven't finished Dave the Diver. I haven't finished Knuckle Sandwich. Although both of those were games that I've made a lot of off-stream progress on, so I don't know how that would feel for me to just jump into the middle of that on stream. I could I haven't I haven't streamed a single second of me playing Midnight Suns, but I could just stream me beating Midnight Suns. I'm at like the final boss of Midnight Suns. Um Play Trine with my friends. I don't know if I even have Trine. I don't know if I have Trine, and I don't know which of my friends have Trine. Suika game multiplayer. Ooh, I do have Suika game, and I think I preemptively bought the multiplayer from the new DLC. Yeah. Um, Suika game's an honestly, yeah, Suika game's kind of an option, right? That's kind of a thing I can do when I want to do more, when I want to not finish the stream right away. Um, these are not bad suggestions. These are not bad suggestions. maybe it is just as simple as me making more progress in a game that I've only played a little bit of this year because like the year's half over. The year's almost half over. June has to end for the year to be half over, but we're close to the year being half over, and I have not beaten many 2024 games. I hesitate to say I've beaten any this year. I I've beaten some runs of Slice and Dice on my phone. That came out this year. Kind of looking. Oh yeah, Animal Well. Try to play more Animal Well or try to beat that. Chrono Arc. I've only played 5 hours of. I could play more Blue Dragon, but that's not a 2024 game. Oh, Berserk Boy, but I don't know. That one I feel like I've played enough Berserk Boy, although I did have an okay time with it. Showtime Unicorn Overlord. Oh, Balatro. Well, I've played a decent amount of Balatro. A lot of it off stream. Pocket Card Jockey Right On did come out this year. Mario versus Donkey Kong. I'm not really interested in playing more of either of those, particularly on stream. Yeah. I've been given some options at least. I've been given some options. Yeah, those are worth thinking about. Okay. All right, yeah. I'm yeah, almost 11. That's I streamed a decent amount of is uh is Sean MIA tomorrow? It feels like he's been busy. I haven't seen much of him this week. I think I think some new Final Fantasy 14 content came out and like so I haven't really heard a peep from him lately. I think he's just been really focused on that. Um so yeah, so I don't know if I can't really include him in my immediate schedule right now at the very least. Like maybe he'll show up tomorrow, but I don't know. I don't know. Um but yeah, I'll figure it out. I've been given some stuff to think about. But yeah, anyone else can kind of holler at me in the Discord if they come up with something and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow with something. I'll do something tomorrow. And then Monday I'm going to do more Trauma Team. And Friday and Saturday hopefully there'll be something interesting for me to play. Maybe Xbox will shadow drop something uh this Sunday. Maybe they'll shadow drop something cool that I want to play. Um but yeah, until then, uh thanks for dropping by everybody. Hey, thanks for dropping by. I didn't do shit tonight. I talked about Summer Game Fest for a bit and then I talked about manga for a bit and now I'm going to bed. But yeah, thanks for dropping by, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow, and we'll see what I'll do. All right, thanks, everyone. Good night.